In my previous posted video, I had shown 𝐅𝐥𝐵, the AI co-analyst app. It has got many functionalities, including choosing for doing a reasoning-based advanced analysis. It has got the option of multiple options of Gemini or DeepSeek or O3 Mini, Claude 3.7 Sonnet. When I'm just testing it out, I just added it. Now this UI, in case you want to do that, I have shared the build guides and all, and build guides are here also. But there are a couple of repos. It has got total 5-6 repos. What if you want to rapidly get deploy it? So if you want to rapidly deploy it, then you, the option is to just simply use the Flowise user interface. This is the Flowise user interface, which is fairly rapid deploy. Once you have the schema imported, right? Once you have the schema imported, you do a share chatbot and you click here. So you get this whole interface which is ready to go. And some of my live deployments are with this. This interface, and it works pretty well. Very rapid deploy. And here, for example, here I am connecting to a database. I am shared my connection string and then asking it to show me the count of records, sample records. So it is showing the record, and you can see the agent messages here, what it is doing. Then I am asking it for a detailed analysis. So the detailed analysis, now it is doing the detailed analysis here. And you can similarly, you can see the agent messages in detail in case you want to see what is happening in the background. So you can see all the feature engineering it is doing and SQL codes that it is doing. The same thing I am displaying here. I am displaying it in a custom interface, and of course it has got some bells and whistles and some extra functionalities. But this is a very rapid deploy. So all that you need to do is here, agents, when you have this, all these schemas I have shared. So once you have this imported this schema, and a couple of changes, I will just show you what changes you need to make. Once you have made those changes, you click here, share chatbot, you come here, and your this thing is live. You can start working with it as you go. Now, how do you do that? And I will, couple of things which are not here, I will cover those also. So how do you import this? So these schemas, where will you find? If you come here to the help and build guide, here in the build guide, all the repos are shared here, and also in my previous post also. So here in the main repo, this is the main repo. You just need two repos here. This main repo has got the agent schemas. This main repo has got the agent flow schemas, and this is one fast API server which acts as a connecting server. These are the only two things you need. So in this main repo, this is the main repo. In the main repo, in the docs, if you go, all these agent schemas are here. So you have all these agent schemas here. Then in Flowise, once you come to agent, you just say, you say plus, and you go to settings and you load agents and you point it to the agent schema, and it will get imported. It will look something like this. You will get this whole thing right here. Now, what are the changes which are required? What are the changes which are required here? I will share those changes, but one thing I will suggest with Flowise, in case you are getting stuck anywhere and want to understand how to do something, then the best resource is Flowise tutorials from 𝐿eon even the sequential agents and other stuff. I had first gone through Leon's tutorial and then customized it and worked on it, and he has got a very step-by-step tutorial, various aspects covering. In case you are deploying your render for Flowise for the first time, make sure you deploy it not on your local host but on render. Right? That is the best way to go about it, and then he covers sequential agents and so on. Now, once you have the agent here, there are 2-3 changes you have to make. So number one change you have to make is the credentials. Here all the API keys, this Google Gemini API key is free, by the way. So all those, if you just Google out the API key for Google Gemini, you will get the links for it, and you can go and create them. It just takes hardly a minute or two, right? So you will need a Google Gemini API key. You will need a OpenAI API key. If you already have one, you can use that. If not, you can set up a new account. Minimum $5 recharge is required. In some cases, DeepSeek and all, for example, this is probably DeepSeek. So DeepSeek, I'm using, connecting it via OpenRouter. So wherever that keys are required, it will give you an error that credential not there or something, and you create new. And you update your keys in that place, getting it from OpenRouter or OpenAI. You update the credentials. So 2-3 credentials you will need to take: OpenAI, OpenRouter, and this E2B. This E2B is required for the Python charts and statistical analysis. So this is also, E2B is also free. So you will get those credentials. The next, you have to make only one change. That's it. This custom tool. This is the tool which connects to the data warehouse, giving any SQL string or URI, the host connection strings or the connection detail. It will connect to the URI. So this tool also I have shared. So again, you have to just import the tool. Where if you are here, if you go to tools, you can just say load, and you can load the tool, and you will once you load the tool, it will show up here. You have to make sure you are giving it using the right name here. Now in this tool, once you have loaded the tool, what you will see, it will look something like this. So no other change has to be made. Only one change you have to make is this is the URL. This is the fast API server from here to here. This URL is the only one you have to change. That's it. With that, this interface will start working off the bat. Credentials update, and credentials update and fast API server. So fast API server, where will you get it? So this is the fast API server link here. I have it open here. So this is the fast API server link here. So this server, if you are using something like Render, it is very easy to, this doesn't need any API key just for the database connectivity. Now if your other function, this has got, this API server has got many other things, file upload and so on. But since we are not going to be doing that, only for the apps that only need database connections to execute SQL query, no environment variables are necessary. You can simply clone the repo for the repo or clone the repo. Best is clone the repo, and then you come to Render. And in Render, all that you need to do is do this web service, point to your GitHub repo, and you are set. The build command, you just need to add one build command, which I have already. Build command is just pip install requirements, right? And start service. This is fast API. You become app host. This is the only thing. Copy paste there, and it will be deployed. Once it is deployed, then on the top you will get a link like this link. So you have to just copy this link, and in the tools which I had earlier shown, when you have imported the tool, you have to just replace that with this one URL, and that's it. Now that's it. These are the only two things you have to change. The flow-wise. Credentials you will need to get. If you already have it, simply put it, use the same ones. If not, you just get it. Takes a couple of minutes to get those credentials. Flow-wise, if you are not installed, Leon will guide you how to. In this video, he has a very nice guide on Render, how to deploy. If you are deploying on Render, make sure you take the $6 plan, because you need persistent disk and all that, and it is pay as you go. So if you are using it only 1 day in a week for 4 days in a week, so it is charged pro rata. But if you have an app live, then obviously you have to keep it live constantly. Now, other thing which I have done, which you have to just be careful about, is I think I have in this app.py, this one change you might want to make, because in this app.py, for a security, I think I had given an IP whitelist. So here, I have given an IP whitelist that only the requests coming from my sites will be entertained. Otherwise, any request can come in, right? Anybody can route the queries from here. So here in allow origins, when you are first starting to try it out, all these you just remove. All these you can just remove here. Just do edit, directly edit. You can do it here or in your this thing. Here you have to just remove these. All these things you have to remove. Like this. So everything is star. Here we have to get this thing. Everything is star. So for testing purpose, this will go through, and then you can just commit changes, and it will automatically deploy it on Render. So these are the only 3 things, if I remember, if I recollect correctly. Credentials, then the custom tool, Render deployment, and in the tool you have to make this one change. Security, you have to allow all the IP whitelist. Once you have that, then you will have a tool like this, and you simply click here and you go here, and you will have this thing ready. Now you would need to have a database connection. So in case you don't have a database connection and you want to very quickly get one, just to try out, then you head over to Neon. So if you go over to neon.tech, just log in there, and once you just have to say new database, and you can give your database name test2, project name is this, and database name you can give test2 or whatever you wish. AWS Azure, you can leave it default. I just prefer AWS, and I will say create. Once you say create, the database is ready, instantly ready to go. So this is the connect to database. Here you will get your connection string. So you copy this connection string. I copy this connection string is copied. You can save it with you, and then if you use one of your schemas, one of the flow-wise chat windows, if you open and you just say, you ask the agent to test connection, and you give it a string. This has got the whole URI. This has got your user password, everything in the URI format. So it will go ahead and try and test the connection. Let's see. The connection to the Postgres database was successful. So you have a brand new database, 500 MB free, ready in 30 seconds, ready to go. If you have your own CSV TXT file which you want to upload, then the best way, then you have two options. One is that you use dbeaver. This dbeaver is a good one. Download dbeaver from Google. You can download the dbeaver. Dbeaver is this one. So you download the dbeaver, and then you just have to give your database here. You go to database, new database connection. You give your connection settings here. From there, URI that we copied, right? You will get the host database name, Postgres. You will get a username. So it is in URI format. In case you are getting stuck there, you just ask ChatGPT that please give me username, host, everything separate, and you just put it here, and you can test the connection. Just keep in mind to give the right port number. Sometimes they change the port number. And then once you are connected to a database, you will get something like this. So you go to database, default DB schemas, and you go to your public schema or whichever schema is there, and you right click where you can see all these tables. So you just right click and you can say import data. So you say import data, and it will, whatever the data source is, and you have to give your file name and so on. And some settings might be there which you have to check out. What if you need sample data? Sample data is available all across. There is machine learning, UCLA Irvine machine learning repository, Kaggle is there. There is some sample data which I have kept here also in quick start. If you go to the menu, quick start, some sample files I have kept, sample file on Google Drive I have kept here. And the way all these agents are configured here, this is a little difficult to look at, and there are memory and all those components. But basically, all the agents are structured. All the agents are structured like this. This is the basic structure of the agent. All that can be compressed here. There is a router agent which decides if the request is a simple request, then it goes to a general analyst within the schema only. This is the general analyst here down below. This is the general analyst. And otherwise it goes to the advanced analyst. First, it's a LLM API call is made, which will do a reasoning based plan, and SQL queries will be shared, which is your Gemini, DeepSeek, and all the others. Then it goes to executor agent. Executor is always GPT-4o in our case, and then we have various tools which are attached to it. So the basic concept is this is based on the sequential agent line graph and flow wise. So this is the agent setup. So fairly quickly you will be rapid. It's rapid deploy, right? So